for you. In the data mining and data warehousing course, we are currently discussing clustering techniques. In our previous sessions, we talked about the paradigms that are used in clustering techniques. Then we talked about the two major approaches of clustering, the hierarchical clustering and the partitional clustering, in which we talked about Agnes and Diana, the two hierarchical clustering techniques. Then under partitional algorithms, we talked about the K-mean, K-medoid, Clara, Clarence, all these algorithms we have covered. Now in this video, we are going to talk about the other clustering algorithms like density based clustering, grid based clustering, model based clustering, etc. we will be talking about. So let us see what is density based method. So the density based clustering refers to the unsupervised learning method. We know that in machine learning we have supervised and unsupervised learning methods. So the density based clustering comes under unsupervised learning methods. And the density based clustering identifies the groups or clusters in the given data set, whether a dense region is available or a sparse region is available in the given data set. So what it will do, a contiguous region of high point density, which we call as dense region, will be identified, or a contiguous region of low point density, which we call as sparse region, will be identified. And the data points which are lying in the sparse region, the low point density region, they are known as noise or the outliers of the given data set. So this density based method is based on the notion of density to discover the clusters of arbitrary shapes. For example, so far we were talking about spherical shape clusters which will look like this, but the density based clustering will help us to identify arbitrary shape clusters. So there is no proper shapes for this. So this is one cluster, this is another cluster, and this is another third cluster. Like that, this kind of arbitrary shape clusters can be identified using the density based clustering technique. So these are the examples of arbitrary shapes. So if you see here, this is one cluster and this is another cluster, or if you take this one, this is one cluster, whereas this is another cluster. So there is no proper shape for these clusters. So these kind of clusters can be identified using the density based method. Now to identify the arbitrary shaped clusters, the basic idea here is we will continue growing the given cluster as long as the density in the neighborhood exceeds some threshold. Say for example, we may start with this particular data point. We start with this particular data point. Continuously you will grow the clusters. You check whether the neighbors of this particular data point is very closer based on a particular neighborhood threshold. This is the measure that we will be using to find out whether a data point can be added in a particular cluster. So that is, for each data point within a given cluster, the radius of the given cluster has to contain at least a minimum number of points. So what we will do, you will take a radius. So a radius will be taken, and in this radius we are going to check whether it contains at least minimum number of points. So suppose if you say the minimum number of points is to be 11, you take your region, you take this region, your radius, and you check whether it is containing 11 number of data points. So if it contains 11 number of data points, minimum data points, then I am going to create it as a cluster. So continuously you start growing for each point. Take this point, you check whether it is surrounded by 11 number of data points, and take another point, check whether 11 number of data points are there. Then take next point, check whether 11 number of data points are there. So for each of these data points, the neighborhood value will be calculated, and if the neighborhood value is having minimum number of points, then that value will be used to create a cluster. So that is what is the whole idea behind density based method. So these are some of the density based clustering algorithms. So out of these we will be talking about the DB-scan algorithm in our next video. So DB-scan, optics, DenClue are some of the density based algorithms available. So the expansion of these algorithm terms is also given here. Then the next method is called as grid based method. Here the objects together will form a grid. That is, the object space will be quantified into finite number of cells that form a grid structure. Say for example like this, right? So the object space will be quantified as a grid, right? So this is the object space. This is created as a grid structure. Now the advantage here is it is fast processing and it is dependent only on the number of cells in each dimension in the quantified space. That is the advantage of the grid based method, right? So it depends only on how many number of cells we are going to have in each dimension in that particular space. This particular method is concerned not with the data points but with the value space that surrounds the data points. Value space that surrounds the data point, that is the spatial area, right? In the data point is available in a particular space. This spatial area will be divided into rectangular cells. Say for example this kind of rectangular cells, or this kind of rectangular cells, or this kind of layers and rectangular cells will be created, right? So the algorithm is not concerned with the data points, but it is concerned with the rectangular cells that are available in the spatial area of the given data points. So here in general, the typical grid based clustering algorithm consists of these 5 basic steps. First we have to create a grid structure. So for creating the grid structure, we will be partitioning the data space into finite number of cells. Then after creating the grid structure, calculate the cell density for each cell. Cell density means how many data points are available in each cell, that will be calculated. Then sorting of the cells according to their density, right? So whichever cell is having the maximum number of data points, that is the highly dense cell. So that kind of sorting will be done. So what happens, you will be getting, say for example, when I sort these 3 data cells, these 3 cells will be having highly dense data. So all these 3 cells can be combined together if you want to form a cluster. So sorting the cells according to their density will be done. Then identify the cluster centers. Identify the cluster center, right? Suppose say for example, after sorting the cells, whether you want to combine more than one cells or whether you want to keep the cells separately, those can be decided in the identification. Then traversal of neighbor cells can be done, right? So suppose, say for example, if I want to combine more than one cells together, then you will be traversing from one cell to another cell. So these are the 5 basic steps that we have to do for a typical grid based clustering algorithm. So this is the diagrammatic representation I showed you for the grid structure. These are the different types of grid structure. So here you have a 2-dimensional grid structure. Here I am having a 3-dimensional grid structure. Here a layered grid structure. So it depends on what kind of data you have and how many number of dimensions are there. Based on that, you can create a grid structure, something like this. And these are the popular grid based clustering algorithms. One is Sting, the other one is Click, the third one is OptiGrid, optimal grid clustering. So these are some of the grid based clustering algorithms available. Now if you take the density based and grid based approaches, these are popular for mining clusters in a large multi-dimensional space, wherein clusters are regarded as denser regions than their surroundings. So whichever cluster is having a highly dense data, that means more number of data points are available in that particular region, then we call it as density based or grid based approach. So denser region will be identified using these 2 approaches. Now the other method is called as model based method. Here in this method, model is hypothesized for each cluster and find the best fit of data to the given model. A hypothesis will be created as a model here. So the method is an attempt to optimize the fit between the data and some mathematical model. So the data will be now represented as a mathematical model. That is why we say the model based method is the statistical and the artificial intelligence approach. And this method also locate the clusters by clustering the density function, right? So here also we can find out the clusters with the density function also. So if your model hypothesis is having any density function, then your cluster will be based on the density function. Now this actually reflects the spatial distribution of the data points. Obviously when you use a mathematical model for the data points for the given space, then it reflects the spatial distribution of the data points. And it also serves a way of automatically determining number of clusters based on standard statistics, taking the outlier or noise into account. That is another advantage of model based method. So it will automatically determine how many number of clusters are there, which will be based on some kind of statistics. And not only that, it will consider the outliers and noise also into account. And this is what we call as the model based clustering. So for creating the clusters, this kind of model, this is the function, mathematical function which will be created, and based on this particular function, the data points will be plotted here, so that I can find out whether there is a dense region, whether there is a sparse region available. So this is a dense region here, whereas this is a sparse region here. So that given data point is now represented as a model, mathematical model, and combining this mathematical model and the data points will give you the dense region or the sparse region. So this is dense region, right? Because you have the data points very closely related. So this cluster will be a dense cluster, whereas if you have a cluster like this here, it is a sparse cluster. So these are the 2 popular model based algorithms available. And the last method is what you call as constraint based method. So here the clustering will be performed with the user's constraint or the application oriented constraint. Here the constraint means it refers to the user expectation or the properties of desired clustering results, right? So say for example, if I specify I want to create only 10 clusters, then it is one of the user preference or user constraints. Or if you say the maximum cluster size should be 10 centimeter radius or 10 centimeter diameter, like that, if you are going to specify the cluster size, then it can also be called as a constraint. Or if you specify when I am going to cluster, I need dimension 1, dimension 2, dimension 3 to be considered, then it is also called as a constraint. Suppose, say for example, if you want to calculate the pass percentage of your university, you are going to consider only a specific specific course, specific program or specific subject, then you call it as a particular constraint. Or the selection of parameters, as I told you, if you have n number of attributes, you select only 4 parameters for clustering, then you call it as constraint. So the constraint refer to the user expectation or the properties of desired clustering results, and this constraints can be specified by the user or it can be specified by the application. Then you call it as constraint based method. So the constraints, constraints give an advantage of having interactive way of communication with the clustering process. So the analyst can have an interactive way of communication with the clustering process. So initially the analyst can give only 3 parameters. So after the clustering process, the analyst can give 5 parameters. Like that, he can change the number of constraints based on how the clustering is to be done. That is the advantage of constraint based clustering. This is one example of constraint based clustering, the ATM allocation problem. So while allocating the ATM, right, what are the different constraints you want to specify? The maximum number of ATM, and whether the location is to be an urban location or a rural location, or whether you want to have the bank nearby that particular ATM. Like that, the different constraints can be specified by the analyst, which you call as constraint based clustering. And the constraint based clustering is also helpful to find out the problems with the specified parameters or the specified constraints. So these are some of the other clustering algorithms apart from the partitional approach and the hierarchical approach. So in the next video, we will be talking about the DB-scan algorithm, which is one of the very interesting algorithms coming under density based clustering. Thank you.